Stop it. How's it going, everybody? This is Jordan, the KargKast Wrestling here with episode 3 of KargKast podcast. I thought I'd come up here to go over some stuff that's going on in the world of wrestling. Some news, some date changes for a lot of things, some rumors, some spoilers, I suppose, for some things here. I thought I'd come up here and just kind of discuss with you all. If you guys are wondering why I'm talking so low here, it is 3 in the morning at my time. I have my fiance sleeping next room over, and actually, I'm not feeling the hottest. But I thought I'd come up here and just talk to you guys about what's going on in the news lately in the world of professional wrestling and some of the things that I've been hearing. There's not much going on right now in the world of wrestling when it comes to news-wise. There are some things that I think are worth mentioning, but there's nothing extreme going on. I guess this might be a slow week in the world of wrestling. So you guys can tell with some of the stuff that's on the screen here, we're going to be talking about some things such as the Backlash, the Undertaker situation, Sasha Banks situation, Bryan, Ronda Rousey update, Double or Nothing, the Bray Wyatt stuff, just kind of recap everything. I did not do a SmackDown Live review. There's not much to really review about that. The only thing I'm going to say right now about it is the Kevin Owens heel turn, which we all knew was coming anyways. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, it's a little early for that. Before I dive into that, though, I really want to say thank you to a lot of my new subscribers over the last couple of days here. I had a Raw live stream immediately after Raw this past week, and it was by far my most successful live Raw stream I've done after Raw. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining the channel here. I like to do this every week, the KargKast podcast. I think I like to make a name for myself for it. And like I said before, yes, this is done a million times, but this is my show, my version. Just my reviews and everything else. And if you're interested, stick around. If not, then, whatever, I guess. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at KargWrestling. Follow me on Instagram at Jordan_Karg. And then you can also follow me on my other YouTube channel, which is KargMusic. And then, of course, if you're feeling generous, join my Patreon and donate my PayPal to keep the channel's funding here. As I like to do this full time one day eventually. We're a long way from that still, but you gotta start somewhere, right? And like I said earlier, I'm not really feeling the hottest, so I apologize for, I guess, my low tone and low voice. So we hope you guys can hear me into my broadcast here. I usually don't do this. I'm usually pretty loud during my other streams of podcasts, but I got a fiance sleeping next door. We got paper for walls, and I'm not feeling too hot, so this isn't going to be a very long podcast anyways. Just want to keep the streak going here of my weekly show and just update you guys on my thoughts of what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. So diving in here, I think the biggest thing that we've had so far this week in wrestling is the Bray Wyatt segment. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to even start that one. Well, I think how I'll start it is, I think it's pure genius. I honest to God think it's pure genius. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. I am on the train that I absolutely love it. Bray Wyatt, the character, is just a phenomenal character. There's no one like him. There really hasn't been anyone like him before. The only person you can compare him to is The Undertaker, but The Undertaker didn't really have this creepy horror side to him like Bray Wyatt does. And you know what? If this is the creative direction they're going in, I'm all about it, 110% all about it. The only thing that I hope that WWE doesn't do, and I unfortunately think that they will, is they'll fuck it up big time with this character push. It is a little creepy, the Firefly Funhouse. That is actually really fucking cool. I think that's really creepy and really awesome. I think it's something that, we as WWE fans need, like a shot in the arm. Everything is so dry and raw right now. It's miserable watching Raw. So this was, I guess, a dose of fresh air when we saw this on TV the other day. And to be honest with you, I said in my live stream, when I first heard it, I actually thought it was a commercial for something. I looked up and it's Bray Wyatt. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was a commercial for something else for USA. I don't know. But when I watched it, I was like, that is awesome. That is genius. I love it. Now, moving on here, I don't know if this is going to lead to another Bray Wyatt direction for his character, or is it going to like crack, if you will, and go back to his old character, his old ways? I don't think so, because I feel like they've been low key giving us this new character and hints over the last months, and I think Bray Wyatt has for 6 months now on his Twitter. So I don't know what's happening here. All I know is I love it, and I hope they go forward with it more. I'm not really sure what to expect from it. I hope something huge from it. But I got a lot of backlash, no pun intended, above with the backlash. Pay-per-view, I'm about to reference here. But it got a lot of backlash from a lot of different people. And the main one was the stockholders. Apparently the stockholders did not like it at all. I guess some parents were not happy with this at all, with this character change and how creepy it is and all that. And you know what? Personally, I'm not a big stock guy. I don't have a kid, so I don't care for it so much. But you know what? It's professional wrestling, people. It's professional wrestling. You invested in this. You were the one watching it. You're the one who bought stock in it. You're the one who took the chances. So I understand the frustration, but it's professional wrestling. So with the Bray Wyatt thing, I'm moving forward. I hope that it's entertaining. I hope it's fun. I hope WWE doesn't fuck it up like they usually do with a lot of shit. But I don't know about this one. Hopefully maybe Bo Dallas might get involved with it, because actually he looked like a lot like Bo Dallas in this, I thought. So I'm not sure what to expect from it. I'm assuming we'll get little vignettes like this for weeks to come, and then eventually make his debut somewhere. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. I hope WWE doesn't cut it because of backlash. I hope, we keep going forward with this, but WWE does not fuck it up, which unfortunately I think they will, because they do with a lot of shit. So moving forward here, I don't know what to expect, but I want to be entertained by it, and I want it to last, and I want it to be good. In terms of what happened the rest of the week here, the only other thing I want to mention is the Viking Experience, aka the War Raiders, changed their name, or they didn't change their name, but their name was changed yet again to the Viking Raiders. Oh my God, WWE, what the fuck are you guys doing? You making yourselves look like asses, and you're making these guys look like asses. The War Raiders are fucking awesome. They're phenomenal in NXT, and you want to make them phenomenal in the main roster and making them look like, I don't know how to explain it. You're just making them look bad with their names. So now they're called the Viking Raiders. I'm sure next week of the Viking Warriors. I don't understand this whole fucking shit. But did anyone else notice that their finisher now is called the Viking Experience? Oh my God, I can't. This shit like this is the reason why I can't watch Raw and be satisfied with it. SmackDown is now the A show, and I will say that until they move to Fox. They're now the A show 110%. Because of shit like this on Raw, I cannot deal with this shit on Raw. But I guess we got a name change back. I guess. I don't know. It's stupid how his name was changed first. It's stupid how their name was changed again. And if it'd be stupid again if they change it for a third time. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't know if... I don't know what to expect from it. I think now we're stuck with the Viking Raiders, which is what the fuck ever. I don't care, but it's stupid. And WWE looks stupid doing this shit. So let's see what happens next week when they're called probably the Viking Warriors. So the only thing I'm going to mention now outside of the week of wrestling here, the only thing I mentioned that they're still shaking up superstars. Andrade Cien almost was moving back to SmackDown because of Charlotte Flair's politicking. Apparently they're engaged. I didn't know that. And then they weren't engaged. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But he moved to SmackDown. So did Aleister Black, because he is, I don't know if he's married. He's married to Selena Vega, I believe so. And then you had, I guess, Ricochet and Aleister Black tag team broken up, which I was actually happy for that. So, and then I guess next week, supposedly the club is getting back together on Raw. That's the rumor. That is the rumor. I don't know about that for sure. So they're moving to SmackDown. So doing week 3 of this shakeup. I don't know. It's all confusing. I'm a little confused and quite honestly a little irritated about it. So the shakeup's still going. I guess it's a little weird. It's really weird, and I'm not really sure why it irritates me, and I don't like it by any means. So I don't know. The shakeup is still going. I guess it's just stupid. But finally, moving outside the week of wrestling here, there's not much to reference, not much to say about it. It's done and over with. It was kind of a shitty week. SmackDown was the better show. I give that a 6 out of 10. But moving on outside of the week of wrestling here, we saw on Raw and SmackDown, The first thing I mentioned is Daniel Bryan's situation. Now, I said last week that Daniel Bryan is hurt from the WrestleMania match with Kofi Kingston, and unfortunately, it's a lot worse than what we think. I've been hearing from a lot of different sources that Daniel Bryan has been having, I guess, episodes and having symptoms of what he had before he had to retire. I don't know what they are. I don't know, like violent episodes, like I don't want to say seizures. I don't want to say anything like that, but apparently it's something to do with his head and neck again. Unfortunately, in that area, I don't know what it is exactly, but apparently it is worse than they thought, and I don't know what that means. So he might be out, he might be done again. I don't know. Whatever happens to Daniel Bryan, I just want nothing but the best for him, and I want him to be healthy. I want him to live a long, happy life, and I want him to live. If he has to retire, then he has to retire. And it hurts me to say that because I love Daniel Bryan. I loved him before he got white hot. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's so underrated. When it comes to top wrestlers in the world, I think so. But he needs to, if he needs to be done, he needs to be done. But I don't know what his exact injury is. They're keeping it pretty damn close to themselves and the doctors and Daniel Bryan. There's no word about it. We may not get anything for the weeks or months. But from what I've been hearing, it is worse than we thought. And no matter what happens, I just want Daniel Bryan to be okay and live a long, healthy, happy life with his wife and his daughter. The next thing I want to say is that Sasha Banks is still kind of on the sidelines, kind of in a protest of everything that's going on backstage, which who could blame her with all the shit you've been seeing lately? I don't know what's going to happen with her. There's a rumor saying that she's willing to sit out for her contract, which could be 2 years, and if WWE wants, there's some loophole in her contract where they could add on another 6 months on top of that. I don't know what the hell's going on. As you guys can tell, there's a lot of shit going up in the air that we don't know about yet, but Sasha Banks is still not back to work. She's still on vacation. She's at home. She's not coming back, and we may never see her back. We may see her back next week. I don't know, but the rumor is that she said she is willing to sit on her ass at home and wait for her contract to expire. So I don't know what's going to happen with her. We may see her back on Raw. We may see her back on SmackDown. Christ, we might see her back on NXT. She kind of wants to go back to NXT. But I don't know what's going to happen with her. But whatever happens with her, I wish her nothing but the best. I still think she needs to somehow find a loophole out of her contract and go AEW and under the name of Mercedes or whatever. I don't know. But she's not back, and we don't know when she's going to be back. She may never come back. Speaking of the women's division here, Ronda Rousey finally came out with a YouTube video the other day saying that she did break her first knuckle on her pinky, I believe, from WrestleMania. Seemed like WrestleMania, everybody got hurt this year at WrestleMania, but apparently she broke her pinky and she's out for a while. But apparently now I read another article that she wants a baby, but that you never know how that works all the time. But timing with it having a baby is very unpredictable, and it doesn't always go planned, of course. But she wants to have a baby, so it sounds like she's out for a while, man. I don't know if she can be out for like a year. She might say, "Well, I don't want to get too in depth and too gross about sex ed here," but maybe she doesn't conceive or whatever, and they just say, well, let's just go back to work then. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about that. But my point is that she may be back in 4 months. She may be back in a year and a half. I don't know, but her contract's up in 2021, so she's glued to WWE for at least another 2 years. But it sounds like she's out too. So WWE, right there, 3 people I just mentioned are 3 of the biggest names in the company, and they're all out for various reasons. And I think it's why the product is kind of suffering. Not them, because they're out. I'm not saying they're out. This product sucks because they're out. But it shows. It shows because they don't have any superstar power underneath all these guys. Changing names, making stupid stipulations, same matches over and over again. It's unbearing. And I'm mentioning Raw mostly. SmackDown has a share of moments and bad moments too, but Raw is the worst of it. So I don't know where it's going to lead. Whatever happens with Ronda Rousey, I want her to come back. I actually am a Ronda fan. A lot of people aren't. But I actually enjoy her a lot. So we'll have to see what happens with her and with Sasha and Daniel Bryan. Whatever happens to all of them, I wish nothing but the best because I'm a huge fan of all 3 of them. The only other thing that I want to mention is that Backlash apparently had a pay-per-view in June, I believe, and then they canceled it, and then they rescheduled it. It was supposed to be in San Diego. and then apparently now they moved it to Washington D.C. But now it's not a pay-per-view. Now it's going to be a house show. Is this what I'm reading correctly? And if that is, what the fuck is the point of that? I don't know. I don't know. But that kind of leads to my next thing here. I guess Backlash is out in, but it's not going to be a show. It's going to be like a house show that's a Raw exclusive, was what I read. I don't know. It seems stupid. But what I'm about to dive into now is like the schedule we have here with WWE, with everything, with wrestling and all that. And I'll mention Double or Nothing here in a second here. But right now, as of 4:26 at 3 in the morning, we have on May 19th, we have the Money in the Bank. And then June 8th, we have NXT TakeOver. And then July 14th, we have Extreme Rules. Now, somewhere in June 9th, I believe June 7th, that area is when WWE goes to Saudi Arabia for their show. So we have, including NXT TakeOver, we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pay-per-views in the next, 3 months, 2.5 months. That's a lot of fucking shows. On top of that, we have AEW's Double or Nothing, which is May 25th. So we have 1 week Money in the Bank. The next week, Double or Nothing. We have a week break in there. Then we have the Saudi Arabia show. Then we have NXT TakeOver. Then we have the Extreme Rules. And then somewhere in there we have Starrcade. God damn, it's a lot of fucking wrestling. I'm going to try to review most of it. The funny thing is that when the Saudi Arabia show happens, I'm actually on a flight that day to my vacation. So I don't know how it's going to happen with me. I will review Double or Nothing. I will be doing that. I don't know if I'll do live streaming during it, but if it'll be live streaming after it. It's a Memorial Day weekend. Typical Memorial Day weekend, I go out of town up on the river, so I don't know. We'll have to see with that. I definitely am watching it though wherever I'm at, but I don't know about live reviewing afterwards. I like to, but we'll have to see with that. But really, that's professional wrestling in a nutshell this week. There really hasn't been much going on. Not much I've been really hearing. Not much I've been saying. Because usually at the WrestleMania, the product just kind of dies down. There's nothing coming out. There's really nothing to say and do. And this year's no other year. It's the same thing. We all kind of just, nothing's really happening. And unfortunately, nothing really will happen until SummerSlam. So hang on for life here, guys. I think we're in for just a little bit of a slow summer here. I just get that vibe that this summer is going to be a slow summer when it comes to wrestling in WWE. But I think AEW will spike it up for sure when it comes to wrestling. Like good wrestling, but in WWE, I mean, I think we're in a long summer with WWE. The one final thing I want to mention is that apparently Undertaker was supposed to be wrestling at Starrcade, and apparently he pulled out because Vince McMahon told him to pull out. Vince McMahon is just, it's so petty. He's so petty. I'm not sure the whole details about that. I can't really find much about it, but apparently the Undertaker's company did pay Starrcade back their money to deposit to have the Undertaker, something along those lines. Apparently, Undertaker had to pull out some dates too for his touring date, and the show that he's going to do a podcast. And Vince McMahon told him not to do any of that. That's such fucking bullshit, man. Vince McMahon just needs to take a fucking chill pill here, man. He's the king of professional wrestling. He's acting like if he loses somebody, it's the end of the fucking world. I hate that shit. Vince McMahon. Stop it. But with the Undertaker situation, he might be wrestling at Saudi Arabia. We're assuming it's with Elias. We don't know what the hell is going on with it yet. But that's the rumor lately, and it's probably going to happen. He'll probably appear on a Raw or SmackDown, or I guess now SmackDown, since Elias is on SmackDown. But I guess that's what the rumor is, and I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. And guys, that's basically it for the whole week here. I just want to go over episode 3 again. Sorry it doesn't sound very good. I don't feel very good. I had a long week here. But that's basically your wrestling news in a nutshell this week. Again, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Please follow me on Twitter. Please follow me on Instagram. The whole 9 yards. I have everything on top there. And this is new. If you guys are following here, that new top banner, I guess, for all of my social media links is new. I'm trying to switch some things up here. Trying to make it a little more professional. Trying to make it a little more, I guess, eye-appealing. So if you guys are new, take a listen here. Take a view at everything I do here. Instagram, Twitter, my other music channel. Everything, man. It's all there for you. I appreciate you guys. A lot of you guys who subscribed the other day. Again, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And I should be back up on Monday night for Raw review. And I'm taking the whole weekend off. Just not paying attention to wrestling, to be honest with you. So I will see you guys Monday night next week. And then after that, probably KargKast episode 4. So I'll see you guys then. Take it easy.